that she's not a credible witness whatsoever. But what specific proof are you talking about?
Okay, you got about an hour. I'll start documenting it. So I have been able to account for every single day of my life, from the day that Virginia Giuffre met Ghislaine Maxwell till the day she went away to Australia. Since the day I got to Harvard in 1964, I've been keeping a record of every day of my life. Wow. And I was able to produce a chart in which I can show where I was every day, not by my book. My book is only a guide.
Yeah.
Then it gets American Express records, television appearances, class teaching, where I can have 150 students. Say on January 14th, I was teaching 150 students. I can document every day telephone records, cell phone records, restaurant records. So it's inconceivable. There's no way I could have been on the island or on the ranch on the days she said she had sex with me. I can prove that with 100% conclusiveness. And I said that the day after I was arrested, the day after I was accused. I wish I had been arrested, because then I'd at least have a trial and be able to prove my innocence. But from the day I was accused, I said I had these records and I could produce them. And I also said on the day I was accused, there will be no photographs of me with her as there was with Prince Andrew, because you can't create a photograph of something that didn't happen. There will be no reliable witnesses, and there have been none, zero. And then I have her statement to the FBI where she described who she had sex with, her statements in her memoir where she described who she had sex with, her statements to Churchill where she described who she had sex with. They all exclude me completely. I have other documentation. I have a tape recording of her best friend who said she was pressured into naming me. She told her best friend's husband that she never knew me, never saw me, never had anything to do with me. So the evidence is just overwhelming, document after document. And Netflix knew that, and other media knew that, but they didn't. They deliberately made a decision with malice to exclude that evidence. So I gave them the evidence. It's not that they haven't seen it; they've seen it, they know it, they just won't put it out.
So they're making a specific, conscious decision not to essentially provide your true side of the story. This is what
all they have to do is say, here's what Giuffre says, here's what Dershowitz produced. Judge for yourself.
Make your own mind up.
Judge for yourself, who's telling you the truth. But the easiest one was Sarah Ransom. Sarah Ransom says Hillary Clinton's a pedophile, Donald Trump's a pedophile, Branson's a pedophile, all these people are pedophiles. Then she admits she made up the whole story. And what does Netflix do? They put her on as a credible witness without mentioning any of those things. And they knew.
Well, Virginia, I sat reading 7 pages long, a very in-depth recollection from Virginia of having a sexual weekend in New Mexico with Prince Andrew, which turns out she'd never been to the ranch with Prince Andrew. It was a complete lie. She actually admitted that under oath. Not a single... You will not read that in any newspaper. And you've just got to ask yourself why.
Can you send me that? I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, I've got quite a long list. All reference. I'll email that over, of course. Finally, so you're suing. You're going through the legal process with Virginia at the moment. You've been quite brave. I know it's not a word.
Not brave. I'm not brave to just want the truth to come out. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And what's the update? Is there any update you can give us on that?
Well, we're litigating a lot of issues, whether the judge will allow me to call George Mitchell, Bill Richardson, and others who were falsely accused. I am calling Leslie Wexner. I've been given 2 hours to depose him, and I'm completely confident that he will testify that he never met her and never had sex with her, and that she made up the whole story. But so far, he's the only accused person other than myself who is allowed to testify at the trial. But we're trying to change that and trying to get Al Gore to be able to testify that he never met her, never met him, never met Epstein. Why isn't that relevant? That's so relevant. If she lied about Al Gore, how can you be so certain she's told the truth about me?
Yeah. And I'll just grab one final thought from you. So, as I've said, as we know, you've got fantastic insight into the legal system. What do you think the outcome, if you're a betting man, I don't know, but what do you think the outcome is going to be in this trial for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm very pessimistic. I think that she can't get a fair trial. She should have been out on bail, and she should never have been prosecuted. Nobody is ever prosecuted for committing perjury during a civil deposition, and she has been prosecuted for committing perjury during the Giuffre deposition, during the Giuffre case, but Giuffre hasn't been even investigated for committing perjury in her own case. And that's what's so unfair. It's selective prosecution. They're going after Ghislaine Maxwell, but not Giuffre, and yet Giuffre has committed far more serious perjury, far more easily provable perjury.
Yeah.